Hey guys, we're back. Another breaking news story. WHO, World Health Organization, put out a little statement, and they have now flip-flopped on treatment for kids to get the you-know-what jabs, COVID-19 jabs. Totally flip-flopped, and now said it's actually more dangerous for them to receive these things than get the COVID-19. Be back in a second about that, guys. So back to it. WHO now recanting their treatments for young children. That, along with the recent news, UK, Boris Johnson and his party totally want to ditch all the COVID-19 measures, all of them, even the passports and the masks. So, a coincidence, guys? And don't forget the document dump that's going to be happening later this month, or next month actually. 5,500 pages of the damage and side effects so far from all these jabs worldwide, or in North America anyways. And oh boy, you can start seeing the dots show up. Is this coincidence, or is this a connect the dot type of situation where all these things connect and make an ugly big picture that we're gonna find out shortly about? So now, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare professional. However, it seems I'm sticking to my guns here. This whole thing has been one big giant joke on the public and a giant IQ test, and whoever received the COVID-19 jabs probably failed the test. It's looking like, okay? Especially when you guys see the mountains of documents that are going to come out on the monthly. The judges went after this company and said, look, you're gonna report everything. You're not waiting those 77 years to release what this stuff does. And it only makes, it's common sense, guys. You sell a product on the market and you don't list the safety hazards and all this stuff, you're going to jail, and you're going to jail hard. Now, what happens when the government itself drinks the Kool-Aid and follows this nonsense and buys all these COVID-19 jabs? Well, it means the entire government has been suckered, but the government also cashed in at the same time with insider trading because they heavily invested in the vax companies. So they're getting kickbacks all day long in their investments with their push. Now, let's say the governments do a total reversal on the COVID-19 stuff. Well, they already made their money. Do you think they're going to prosecute anybody? The same government is going to prosecute their own? I doubt it. Will Fauci and these dudes see the inside of a jail cell? It's up in the air. But if the Dems lose, and lose big, midterms and the next one going forward, then holy shit, you better believe there's people going to be going to prison. And before they do, there's probably going to be mass firings at all these agencies that are supposed to protect us from this bull, and new people brought in to go over, investigate, and prosecute all these people for basically a genocide that's gone on. So basically, guys, Big Pharma has gotten so big that it's bigger than governments now, okay? And that's a lot of power. You make more than governments combined. Big Pharma does. And you wanted to, the only way to increase your profits really is to cook up something in a lab overseas, because there you can get away with it, and then let her rip and have a nice treatment on standby only months away to profit from. Okay? Now, I've heard it was a 20-fold plus increase on their investment in said virus they cooked up. Okay? 20+ fold increase or payback in their investment. And that's a quote from Mr. Billy Gates. And well, he said also, he quoted, best business he's ever been in, basically. Best return on investment in business ever. Of course. Now, how did they get away with this, guys? Well, that was easy when you have boneheads running the governments and not watching. It all started back with Obama, married to the tranny, Michael. And, oh man, it all started back then with him and Fauci. And, yeah. They even chopped this around to the Pentagon, and the Pentagon told them to go pound sand. And so they had to go overseas to do this stuff. Be back in a bit. Alrighty, guys, so we're back. Like I was saying, the Dems are really going to have to steal this next one as well. Midterms and election. And the reason is if the Republicans get in and they get some balls and actually go full balls to the wall with these people, a lot of people going to prison, a lot of people are going to be fired, a lot of investigations are going to be opened up, and it's going to look good, really good. However, the Dems' main goal right now is to steal the midterms. Luckily, a lot of states have put in new measures to stop the mail-in ballots and the drop boxes and the complete and utter BS which got us into this mess. You know, like stopping the election on the night of the election to count mysteriously sent in votes from random people through drop boxes and mailboxes at 3 a.m. the next day. If you remember that night, when they did close the polls, Trump was leading in most states and basically had won at that point. But they couldn't let him in. And the reason is, none of this shit would have went on if he got in. He wouldn't have been for all these closures and mandates and all that. He would have fired these fucking people and put his own people in to take over. And that's what should have happened. But instead, the Dems stole it, got in. We got a hell of a mess They went on a spending spree with money they don't have and had to borrow. So now inflation is off the charts, highest it's ever been in 30 years, they say. Prices of everything highest since the 90s, they said, inflation-wise. And they're only going to get worse. So guys, under the Democrats, remember this. And here in Canada as well, remember that your wages have gone down. When inflation happens, that means you get less for your money. Your wages have gone down permanently until we get some people in that know what the hell they're doing. And it's a sad state of affairs, but it is what it is. It's pretty sick. Hopefully some people start kicking ass in Congress and stop this playing along to get along shit, because it's ridiculous. So we'll see what happens, but inflation's only going to get worse for now, guys, so prepare the best way you can. And you know, your money's not going to go as far as it can or could have under Trump. That's for goddamn sure. Because we, before all this, guys, greatest economy ever and self-sufficient on oil. Means everything was working wonderfully, like a well-oiled machine. And then the Dems are like, oh shit, he's doing too good, we'll never beat him unless we pull out, you know, this project we got going on overseas. Let's just release this thing, make a boatload of money on this medication, which isn't really a vaccine. They actually had to change the definition of the vaccines definitions for this, which is hilarious. See you in a bit. To see all my live daily content, become a Patreon member. Click on the link on my YouTube channel at the Off-Grid Tiny House. Click on support this channel. It'll take you to the Off-Grid Tiny House page on Patreon, or you can just Google it. Sign up and join in. Thank you.